Hi, I'm Daniel, and the third Trolls movie band together is releasing A in the UK on October 20th. Thanks, Dreamworks. This makes up for waiting 2 months plus movie as Wish. The movie definitely looks good. I guess I'll make a video on the first two in the process. Despite the overall consensus being these are just beyond kids' movies, I see some potential and good parts in order for yours. I may sometimes try and find how a movie could have been better too much, but that's why I get out of this duology. I don't think it's a DreamWorks worst franchise, because they have more to say about it than something like The Croods, but these movies are flaws and show you all why people don't like our modern DreamWorks. They are generic, and even with in-universe reasons for pop music, it gets tiring for most audiences. So, how are the Trolls movies in my opinion, and how could they be better? Also, this video will contain spoilers for the Trolls movies. Trolls, released in 2016, got overshadowed by so many great animated films that year. It was relatively successful, and ended DreamWorks' search for a franchise contender, but it wasn't the best received. I was actually looking forward to this by the trailers, but got disappointed after watching it in cinemas. I'm not sure what about it was, but maybe it's because the trailers show Act 1, which looked good because it was better. I still think the first act is decent at establishing Branch as a cynical one amongst the happy singing trolls who get caught in the census to be eaten. The dynamic between Branch and Poppy is good, and like they are the journey. However, this movie goes downhill when at Bergentown and I'm trying to help Richard get with this Prince Bergen guy under a Cinderella reference. This takes up too much time and it isn't interesting. Also, a contrast that felt set up was that Poppy and Branch had the opposite problem. Branch is too negative on this trustful, and he ends to open up across the movie. Poppy sure yearns to not be so optimistic and expect things to work out. However, she doesn't really get anything other than her being right or wrong. I like some of those traits of protagonists who are proactive, but the movie wrote her poorly. And this is done because they want to make a supreme happiest message. It makes sense as a bigger takeaway, since the burgers need to learn that they could be happy without eating trolls, but there's no nuance other emotions being okay too. The main duo starts off good characters whom I enjoyed, but this problem really pulled the movie down. The romance between Poppy and Branch also feels really forced in this movie. I may not be a big Frozen fan, but that had Anna and Elsa both learning something, so it's like this but better. Also, I need to mention a scene called My Grandma moment. It's trying to emotional with a sad backstory really fails, but it's also the funniest moment in the movie. This has an occasional funny moment or line, but there's the odd jokes clearly targeted at a younger audience as well. It's far more than even the average Dreamworks movie, which is saying something. The other group of trolls only exist for celebrity pay-overs who barely do anything. Maybe they were Yifin and Yang for a potential series, but either way it's forced. The chef had the potential to be a classic Disney-like villain, but they needed to do more to avoid being a weak villain. They should have established that she fabricated the trolls making me happy myth to keep her power. This was conceptually cool, but it currently feels underdone. This movie also had a twist villain, well executed one with Creek. I like how he seemed peaceful and wise, but he is also really selfish. Creek cares about himself not dying over his entire troll population, and the way he tries to act like this for a different reason is great. While I don't like the middle, it's kinda interesting that all this time searching for him ended up being a downfall. As for another positive, the animation. Trying to imitate the scrapbook but in an animated form is great, but we all really nice looking texture and colours. The troll designs look really fun and creative. They made the ugly looking toy appealing, and the wacky movements from them as well. This movie has very good visuals. There's the music, which can't decide if it wants to imitate Disney or Shrek. It has mostly pop culture songs, but doesn't have the same parody elements that made Shrek work with that. The few songs with the music is trying something like Get That Up Again that feel all musical like are great. I wish I had more like that. Brawls isn't bad, it has a style to it and some things I can compliment, but it's quite generic and mess up the yes and themes. It also got a sequel 3.5 years later, Brawls World Tour released in 2020, which was quick after, which shows DreamWorks was quick to try and make this franchise. Because it was 2020, it didn't get a full theatrical release. If anything, this movie had a large historical impact due to getting a digital release, and it was surprisingly successful. It almost caused Universal release all the movies on digital on the same day as cinemas. It compromised the 3 week gap, but it still was important as showing digital release could be successful. And they like yet the more studios releasing films digital instead of just holding them until cinemas were open. Anyway, I remember when the trailers released and I was looking forward to it. I didn't even watch the movie until near the end of that year. The critical response was pretty mixed. The obvious responses were negative, but some also thought it was better than the original. As for what I think, I'll have to say it's slightly weaker. I see us trying to be grander, this world feels expanded and the animation got even better. We got your new troll species designs, they look really creative and colourful. It continues the scrapbook set with the regular troll pieces looking smoother. It abandons boring old Bergen Town for the other troll villages, which look beautiful. They have colourful looking backgrounds and themes that fit their music genre. This colour palette is so inviting, it's the best looking Dreamworks movie that's been released in 2022. Anyway, I see the attempt here to tell a more complex story about colonization and cultural awareness, and there are some good moments here. However, this movie can't handle that level of complexness which falls apart. Once again, I see potential for this to be better, but to me where all my points have compliments and criticisms, so I expect the all switching from a positive to a negative. So the story. I've heard it ripped off Infinity War, but I've not seen Infinity War, so it is your typical quest of traveling through the Yans, even if you only spend much time in 4 of the 6. It doesn't have much details, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not. It avoids being overweighted, but it just feels like the gang of protagonists are wandering about, not affecting anything for the pavilion. It also doesn't have a clear group for who's on the journey that I wish was done more for most of these characters. Poppy at least had a proper character arc this time, where it feels kinda called out. However, it feels like more should be done with her beefs than music should be happy and they are doing it wrong, especially with Branch, who I like him being the reasonable one. He is more cautious in contrast to Poppy's expecting things to work out attitude, and Branch is getting understanding that other cultures, I mean music genres exist. Keeps part of old personality while showing his growth as well. I still don't like the romance part, but that was pushed more to the side here. There was also a forced fallout, which wasn't the only one of this movie. It's weird how they had only Biggie join them. I like him despite James Cullen voice acting, but it's strange that only a couple of minutes used to use some force out with Poppy early, which amounts to very little. The other trolls don't do much. Aside from one or talk or later, it's okay since they aren't there most of the time. Also, trying to add Tiny Diamond was an annoying trailer decision. The gang is also fought by Hickory. He seems to be a good Samaritan, but he's another side twist villain. Well, he has a redemption arc and tries to stop catching Poppy, but it's another fallout for the movie. This was the build of Poppy's arc done with Real Ying, and her attitudes being similar to Barb, but she has the other complexity going for her. Are we supposed to feel bad for Barb? She was a colonized who had some trouble Real Ying, I don't buy this. Also, it's very ungrateful to make the villain rock music themed. It is a very stereotypical portrayal of rock fans, and weird because rock is mainly associated with independence and rebellion. It would have been better to have a villain be a classical music troll, which would comment on the music being seen as old and underappreciated. It would be more unique and better if the themes to have the older scene music be traditional, uptight, and wanting to colonize all music. It will also be more fun visually seeing the world getting invaded by classical. So, I should probably discuss the message now. This tries to tackle diversity, and I see what they wanted to, by later revealing those pop trolls who want all the strings. It's an interesting message to show their ancestors' wrongdoings and the new generation standing against that. I like what the funk trolls say about how they are different and need to acknowledge that. It is a compelling contrast to Poppy's beef for trying to unite them because they are all trolls. There is difference in between the trolls and that's okay. However, the scene where the truth is revealed is such a worse version of Yeti Guy from Smallfoot. I already made a video on acting that movie, but this song is not only weirdly paced with the story, it also lacks depth. These themes only feel danced around and act like they're a simple solution to cultural hybridity. Even in a movie where the only possible story direction was an ending dance party, this still feels forced, without more detail on the future or other trolls even appearing in band together trailers. Speaking of, the music is forgettable. It doesn't help the message when all the songs are pop 5 versions of these genres. I actually think the only musical moment to work was the scene performing every pop song at the same time. It's supposed to be cringe, and the staging makes it kind of funny. I wish the movie's comedy could have been better because there were mostly misses. The sense of comedy had gone down while your behind just have no reaction. What's something I haven't brought yet? Oh, Cooper. He suddenly feels himself on a journey of self-discovery, which seems like a random odd thing happening, but it's probably the best story in this movie. Instead of trying to be over-ambitious in what tackles, it is just one character yearning about their culture as a funk troll raging in a pop village. It's nothing spectacular or deep, but I enjoyed it. He also found out he had a secret sibling, which is said to be a rare thing for this franchise. Right, third movie? Anyway, Trolls Ball Toad's gonna average movie. I see potential in some of these ideas and it had beautiful visuals, but that makes it worse seeing the potential in it. I enjoyed it more on rewatch than at first. It's not quite one of DreamWorks' worst, but it wasn't a good sign for the studio either. In conclusion, that was a discussion about the Trolls duology seemed to be a trilogy. I'm not too hopeful about 3 years that aren't funny and show me signs of a franchise being out of ideas. This is getting stale, and while it is becoming one of Dreamworks staples and maybe a fourth movie, it doesn't have the same yardage appeal to your franchises. Even Madagascar and Boss Baby, which aren't Dreamworks' best, are more going for them in my opinion. I partly want Trolls 3 or any movie to turn out good, but I doubt it. There was also a series on Netflix, Trolls The Beat Goes On, that I kind of enjoyed. Has a lot of weak parts, especially season 1, but it yelled more time with these characters just vibing and had a pretty good story arc for seasons 3 and 4. It's better than the movies, even if I haven't watched it in years. If you enjoyed this video, consider pressing subscribe and watching more, like my bad guys videos that I worked hard on. The end.